The war in the Senate is not looking like something that's going to end very soon. What's up, my people? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. You know how we do it for you now. If you've not subscribed to my channel, do me a favor, click on the subscribe button, click on the bell notification after the subscribe button, and let's dive right into this video. Now, based on the information we have at hand, the Senate, the Nigerian Senate should be going on recess for like for in some few weeks now. They should be going on recess for like 2 months, which means that by the time they'll be coming back for the 2 months, Natasha should have ended her 6 months suspension, because currently she's on her 4th month. So I think the 2 months recess they'll be going to, it means that by the time they are coming back from the 2 months recess, she's actually done with her suspension. But now the big issue we have on ground now is that even after the suspension is going to be ended, Natasha is going to still face a lot of backlash and struggles while in the National Assembly, and that is what we're here to discuss. Well, for those who have forgotten, Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court slammed Natasha a whooping 5 million naira as fine for that satirical letter that she wrote. You know, that satirical apology letter that she wrote. For those who have not, seen that letter or forgotten, I will post it now for you to see. It was very, very funny letter. It was just satire and sarcasm. That was just what she wrote in that particular letter. So she slammed her a total of 5 million naira, and then also told her to make a public apology in print and online. I remember she told her to like place it on she asked her to put it in a newspaper. Yes, she was asked to make the apology in a newspaper. And also Justice Binta Nyako, also on the side of the Senate, she said that the 6 month suspension given to Senator Natasha was actually uncalled for, because if you count the number of days that the Senate actually has to sit in a particular year, removing the 6 months from it meant that you are denying the people of Kogi Central from having representation. For that, it was just a lot. Removing 6 whole months from her representation for 1 year was actually a whole lot. It was a whole lot. So the Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court actually stood against that and told the Senate to actually recall Natasha back and cancel the suspension. But it turned out that our Akpoti actually came up and said that no, that the Federal High Court doesn't have jurisdiction over the matters of the Senate. So he was, appealing the case, and it was just a back and forth. And I know that for someone like Natasha, paying 5 million naira and then apologizing on the grounds that she was actually asked to apologize by the Federal High Court is nothing for her. But now for the Senate to actually fulfill their own part of the request now became a very big issue. Mind you, as all these dramas unfolding, Senator Akpoti actually removed Natasha as the chairperson of the Senate Committee on Diaspora and the Non-Governmental Matters, and he replaced her with Senator Aneko Mbasi. It was just a whole lot of drama. He was trying to stamp his ground and make sure that as the Senate President, that his word was actually going to overrule that of the Federal High Court. Like, it's only in Nigeria that I can realize that the lawmakers are the same people who will not want to stand by the predictions or by the rulings of the law. The same law that they preside over is just something that we have to deal with in Nigeria, and it's just bad. It is really, really bad.
No, it's not. I think the new chairman of the Senate Committee on Diaspora and NGOs is distinguished Senator Aneko Mbasi, and it will take effect from today. So we will make some changes to our vice chairmanship positions next week, as a result of the fact that some of the Senate.
So because of this entire thing and the back and forth, Natasha has actually gained some level of prominence online. As a matter of fact, she has been growing on the media. She has been growing even off media. People have become drawn to her cause. People have become attached to this particular issue, and a lot of people who were even supporting Akpoti in the first instance are now beginning to see that exactly there is this level of power manipulation and then power tussle that is trying to make sure that as the Senate President, that Natasha's word doesn't stand over his, even on the ruling of the court. Mind you, the sexual allegation case that Natasha actually brought has not been attended to. That one is still somewhere, just seated. That case is still seated. We've not even touched that. That case has not even been unraveled. Akpoti has not even been probed. Someone came and said that you actually made some advances at her, even knowing that she was married, and also tried to manipulate her to come do some, stuffs with you in order for you to let her cause be championed in the Senate House, and you denied it. In a sane society, Akpoti was supposed to be under probation for some time, and then eventually some things put together to make sure and to prove to the public that he was actually innocent. But in a place like Nigeria, it doesn't work like that. He's still in power, and he's even overruling the edicts and the predictions of the court. It's very, very, very bad. But one very beautiful thing about Senator Natasha is that in everything, she still finds her way to do what she wants to do. This one is a very, very strong woman. If you remember what happened in Kogi when they stopped her from entering her own Kogi, they blocked all the roads, but eventually Senator Natasha came by air and told them that there are many ways to do this stuff. So she came, she finished, and then she left. Now, if you remember when Natasha was actually when she was stripped of her role temporarily as a senator, when she was on suspension, they told her categorically that she is no longer a senator for the 6 months, because they locked her office, they took away all her aides and everything, they stopped her salary and everything. But it turns out that even whilst on suspension, Senator Natasha she had been working. As a matter of fact, if you go to her Instagram page, on Twitter, you will see a whole lot of things that Natasha has been doing. She even said that she has been busy. I'm going to play the video for you.
I have already spent pretty much over 4 months already, but the fact that I've been suspended, I keep saying this, I never stopped working. It took a whole lot of effort to follow up and get all of these things done, and we were just here last week where we flagged up the construction of 2 brand new smart markets, which I'm actually even going to go there later on today to see, because they're already digging the foundation. And over there you can see we're putting up the maternity center over there. So I also gave 700 digital learning devices last week to the school. So pretty much it's a whole lot of work, and believe me, we have other interesting projects are waiting for the contracts, are waiting for their awards, and I'll come down here to flag up because this project must be completed by the end of the year. So I'm really busy. I did mention that
she has been very, very, very busy, even whilst not in office. For those who don't know, she recently gave out over 700 iPads to children. Go and price one iPad in the market, then you know how much one is multiplied by 700. She has been commissioning a lot of projects. She has been commissioning a whole lot of projects. Go to her Instagram page. I'm going to post the pictures for you to see. She recently flagged up this market project, like there's this market project she recently flagged off this market project in her place. She gave out iPads. She has been giving out a lot of things to help people and all that, even whilst not fully functioning as a senator in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I mean, the woman has proven that you don't even need to be in office to work. She has actually been very, very, very busy. And I mean, if someone in her shoe can actually be doing all this, even whilst not really termed a senator, then those who are actually in the Senate House receiving all the money should actually be the ones doing way more than what she's doing. So it turns out that upon the decree of the court, Natasha actually made up her mind that yesterday, being Tuesday, being the 22nd of July, that she was actually going to return back to the Senate, and that is where all the drama and all the hell was let loose. But in my own personal opinion, I sincerely did not feel like she was supposed to make a huge fuss about it, because coming out to say I'm going to return, whether you like it or not, eventually made the Senate to now prepare to withstand her entry into the Senate House, and that was where the entire drama began. I'm going to play the video for you for those who have not seen the video. Natasha actually tried entering into the Senate, but it turned out that they had actually barricaded the entire place just to stop Natasha from entering. And even based on the reports we have, they were actually searching all the vehicles that were entering into the compound, because they just wanted to make sure that Natasha was not going to sneak into the Senate in one way. They did not want her to replicate what she did in Kogi.
That I'm resuming on the 22nd, which is on Tuesday, by the special grace of God. I will be there to resume because the court did make a decision on that.
Oh my God, obviously. When you're dealing with a woman like Natasha, you have to think like 2-3 steps ahead, because the woman she's not coming here to play. So it turns out that even Aisha Yusufu actually threw her weight also behind Natasha, telling her that she's solidly behind her. So on Tuesday, that was around 12:20, Natasha actually stormed the Senate, but it turns out that she was not allowed entry. I think she passed the first and the second gate, but they stopped her and they stopped her entourage. They stopped them from moving. At the point, I'm going to play the video also. At the point, she had to come down and start trekking. She was literally trekking, but they could not allow her entry, despite the fact that the court had already told them to overrule that judgment and allow her entry. She had done her own part of what the judge actually wanted, of what the Justice Binta Nyako wanted her to do. But it turns out that the Senate was still standing and saying that the justice did not have jurisdiction over the matters of the Senate. And it just begs the question that if the Senate is at least saying that, then in which way can the Senate be actually probed? What happens when there are excesses of power? What happens when the Senate actually is functioning in excessive power? How can the Senate be probed in a democratic system of government? So it's just something that begs the question, that also begs the question and also makes us understand that our system of government in Nigeria actually we need an overhaul. We need a serious overhaul. So I'm going to play the videos for you to see how Natasha came into the Senate and how she was denied entry, and eventually she had to trek, but she eventually went back. But she had said this, that very soon the Senate will be going on recess, and that's for 2 months. So adding it to the 2 months, because she was giving suspension sometime around, was it March? Yes, so adding everything plus the 2 months that they are coming, by the time they'll be resuming, it turns out that her 6 months would have actually elapsed. Sorry. So by the time she comes back, she's coming back in full force, and she's coming back to take what was rightfully, or let's say what was rightfully hers. And I believe that when Senator Natasha comes back, one of the first things she will be doing is to actually try to resurrect the sexual allegation case that they tried to sweep under the carpet. So guys, I'll be following up the case, and any new thing that comes out, I'll be sharing it with you guys. So please do not forget to click on the subscribe button and leave your comments in the comment section, because I'll be answering each and every one of you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.